She worked alone in the frozen silence, the kind of silence that only the frontier knew, where the wind carried memories instead of voices, and the land tested every soul that dared claim it. One log at a time, she raised the cabin with hands blistered raw, muscles aching, and a heart that refused to surrender. Each swing of her axe echoed across the white plains like a declaration. She would survive. Snow clung to her skirts, her breath rose in clouds, and yet she kept moving, driven by something deeper than survival: purpose. This land had taken much from her already. A husband lost to fever, a child buried beneath a simple wooden cross, and a life she once believed would be shared. Now all that remained was resolve. The cabin wasn't just shelter, it was proof she still existed. From the ridge above, unseen at first, a man watched. A widower himself, hollowed out by loss. He had been riding for days with no destination, only grief as his companion. When he saw her, small against the vastness, defiant against the storm, something stirred in him that he thought had died years ago. He reined in his horse, not out of curiosity but recognition. He knew that loneliness. He had built his own ranch after burying his wife, log by log, hoping the work would fill the silence. Watching her struggle, he felt an ache not of desire but of kinship. The wind howled harder, and when her axe slipped, he almost rode forward, almost, but stopped. She wasn't weak. She wasn't waiting to be saved, and somehow that made him admire her more. As dusk bled into night, she finally paused, pressing her forehead against the rough timber, whispering a prayer to no one and everyone. The cowboy turned his horse away, but he carried her image with him like a promise he didn't yet understand. If this story of strength, resilience, and quiet hope moves you even a little, subscribe now, because this is only the beginning of a journey that will change both their lives forever. The next morning came wrapped in steel-gray clouds, and with it, fate returned on horseback. She was lifting another log when the sound of hooves cut through the wind. Instinctively, her hand went to the hammer at her belt, not fear, but caution, hard-earned on the frontier. He stopped at a respectful distance, hat lowered, eyes kind but weary. Words came slow between them, measured, as though both feared breaking something fragile. He offered help, not as a rescuer, but as an equal. She hesitated, pride battling exhaustion, until the sky answered for her. The storm rolled in fast, merciless, forcing a decision. Together they worked, hands moving in unspoken rhythm, two broken lives aligning like timber notched to fit. As snow fell harder, stories emerged, hers of loss and grit, his of a quiet ranch and nights too silent to endure. When the final log was set, they stood inside the half-finished cabin, wind locked out at last. Warmth sparked not by fire, but by understanding. In that small space something shifted. Not love, not yet, but the possibility of belonging. He stayed the night, respectfully distant, listening to the wind batter the walls they had built together. By morning he knew what his heart had been whispering since the ridge. He didn't just want land to work, he wanted a family to protect. She watched him ride away at dawn, unsure if he would return, but stronger for having been seen. Some connections are not loud or dramatic. Some arrive like shelter in a storm. And as the camera of this story lingers on the rising sun over that unfinished cabin, remember, this is how legacies begin. If you believe in stories where love grows from respect, where families are built as carefully as cabins, subscribe to the channel now, because the next chapter will show how two solitary souls dare to build something lasting together.